So the news today that we've heard here from the Minister for Justice, that there's been a pardon for homosexual activities in the Isle of Man. Of course, I've got to talk to you, Alan, because, I mean, this is something you've been pushing for some time. So you must be fairly happy with the news.
I'm happy with the news, but it's, my view is people have got to now apply for this to be removed, which will more expense, getting advocates involved and raking up the past, where my argument is simple. Send a simple letter saying that it's been removed. And they could do this for the people that have also passed away as well, so that it's, in a sense, even in death, they've got a clean record.
They think it's about 30 people. They're not even sure exactly, which is interesting, but 30 people could potentially have this removed. I mean, and for dead people, you can go back, I suppose. Relatives can even do that, can't they?
Yeah, well, the 30, I think it's more, because it was 1980s, and then the Sexual Offences Act came in. The bill came in 1990, and then Robin Oak decided to have his witch hunt against the gay community by going around public toilets, knowing where they met, and had this massive witch hunt, for gay men.
I asked about compensation. Now, there isn't anything in place, and there can't be by the looks of it. So, would you like to see that, for instance, looked at, addressed?
I don't think it's about compensation. I think it's basically for the people that have passed away, the young ones, especially who've got their parents who are still alive today, is, they were arrested. So basically, they weren't convicted. They died before the conviction through the hatred that Robin Oak and his gang of coppers did on the island, witch hunt the gay community, and it still has an effect today in 2022. So
you asked for the apology from the government, you've got it, and you've now got this law change. The other person you were aiming for in our interview is the Chief Constable of the Isle of Man, Gay Roberts, who you made quite clear was on the Bobby beat in those days. And I mean, I'm not giving any more than that to it, but he had first-hand experience, presumably, of seeing what was going on. If nothing else, he was just a Bobby. But nothing from him yet, and I have pushed to see what's going on. He's in consultation with Isle of Pride and people like that. How do you read that? Well,
that's what I've been told, that the negotiating. My view is, he represents the Manx police force. Now, he was a Bobby at the time, under orders by Robin Oak. My view is, because he represents the police force even from those long, dark days in the Isle of Man history, he is the perfect Manxman, and I say this, he's a Manxman, could give us this apology. A simple sorry, we got it wrong. I mean, not just about what happened in public toilets, about gays walking along a promenade, being stopped by the police for no reason but being gay. Also, my home being raided by the police for how many times, and how many phone lines were tapped on the Isle of Man at the time.
You say raided, that's right. They came in your house with a search warrant, did they?
No, they came to the house saying that they just had a phone call that Mad Dog McGee is in my house, and they decided to... I did invite them in, but they were checking. I mean, a small box freezer in the old days, we didn't have proper freezers, you remember. Opened the freezer to see what was in it. In little cupboards, I said, well, he won't be in there. He's going to be anywhere. He's going to be sitting.
This was a harassment then?
Oh, yeah, because they were outside my house, stopping people from coming in. They were across the road watching it constantly. So my life, in a sense, was hell. And
you didn't have a conviction, though? Nothing like that has affected you in that sense?
I was never arrested in a public toilet. I've never been to a public toilet. Even when this was all going on, I used to be terrified to go into a public toilet because they'll get me. So what I used to do is go into a local pub, buy a can of Coke, go to the toilet and leave. Because that's how but people say, do you trust the police? No, I do not trust them. I do not trust the police to this day for what they've done. You weren't
you missed the exhibition at the museum the other day. So, again, things are moving, and that this sort of thing can take place. Are you happy where we are now?
Yeah, I think the Isle of Man's done well. I think for the Manx Museum to do their big queerosity as put, it showed appreciation of queerness in the Isle of Man. I mean, I'm a proud queer. I know people turn around and said, why? I've been a queer since 1990 when I was a member of Outrage. It's not a new name. You know, you can call me anything you want. You can call me a puff. I don't really care what people call me, because, you know, I'm stronger than they are.
And we interviewed Alan Bell there. He was saying that first time I'd heard him say this, for a period of time he was under investigation, he said to us as well, which is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, it just shows how disgraceful this police force was. I mean, a member of Parliament, he was just a homosexual, which is legal. They decided to harass him too, and said, so who else was getting harassed? You know, I mean, whose phone numbers were tapped? All the campaigns that I know mine was tapped, and I'm sure Hazel Hannon's was tapped.
Okay.
You know.
So just you almost got closure there. Do you think, back to the thing, that do you think a police apology is still required? I mean, would you go that far? That you want that, and then you can close this chapter, the book?
The police need to apologise by the end of this year before the chief constable goes. Then it's all over with. It's not about compensation. It is simply saying, sorry, we got it wrong. That will be it. And if he's going to do it, I'll be gladly to watch it. I will not say a word. I'll just watch him say it, and I will walk away. And that will be the end of my going on. But till they apologise, I'll keep going on.